Good morning everyone, I hope you're all having a great morning. Today I want to do a video slightly different to normal, but before we can start I just need to get to where I'm going to record. See you in a minute. In this video, I want to share what I've learned from doing calisthenics and YouTube over the past few months for YouTube and years for calisthenics. By the end of this video, I hope you'll have the empowerment to start working on whatever it is that you want to start working on. Before starting calisthenics, I did karate. Karate was great. I enjoyed getting to work on myself, and I also enjoyed getting to practice martial arts around others. But during that journey, I kind of felt like I wasn't strong enough, especially when it came to the fitness elements of karate. I always struggled. So that's when I started looking for something to get myself into shape. And that's around the time I found calisthenics. I found videos of people online doing crazy things like handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, and all of the rest of it, as I'm sure you've seen. After seeing all of this and that you could do it from the convenience of your home, I knew it was the perfect type of workout to get me into shape for karate. So I started learning it. When I started calisthenics, it was fun at first. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, plank, all of the basic techniques, and was having a great time. But after the first few weeks, my consistency started to fall off. I really stopped enjoying the process and felt like it was something that I needed to do. During that time, I didn't see any progress. I started to lose motivation, and I also just started to stop enjoying calisthenics. It was only a few months into the journey, but it had started to look like that maybe calisthenics wasn't for me. As this started happening, I thought that I needed more discipline. I thought that I wasn't committed enough to it, and that as a result, I was falling off. But in reality, what I needed was to make it fun and let go of the idea of being perfect on my first try. It was around this time that I stumbled across transformation videos. People posting videos of years of their calisthenics training, from their first few push-ups to where they were, wherever that would be. Handstand push-ups, planches, and all the rest. This really inspired me, and it gave me a glimpse behind the scenes as to what went into training calisthenics. I saw people fail, I saw them start with nothing, and I saw them, most importantly, build up to where they were now. After watching a few of those videos, and especially those videos of people around my age, something clicked. It didn't need to be perfect on the first try, and I didn't need to make progress fast. What was important was having fun and being consistent. And from that, I started to learn that being consistent didn't actually mean just having discipline. It meant having a plan, creating solid habits, and making it enjoyable. Because when you put those three things together, you wouldn't have to force yourself to do workouts because you'd enjoy them. You wouldn't need discipline because your habits would be strong enough that on the days you didn't want to work out, you could just flow through the motions. And with that, really, I was able to start building consistency in calisthenics. A few months into my journey, I also started really tracking my progress. I would write down how many sets and reps I did each workout, and I'd celebrate the small wins. This really boosted my motivation because even though I hadn't reached bigger goals like a handstand push-up, I would still see that I went from 5 push-ups to 10 clean push-ups. And that progress felt amazing. And just knowing that once 5 push-ups or 3 push-ups or pull-ups, what once felt difficult was now effortless, and being able to go through those parts of the workout knowing how far I'd come really kept me going. It was around this time I started recording some of my sets during workouts. I wanted to improve my form, and at the time I thought my push-ups were really good. But after reviewing this clip, I realized I still had a long way to go, and that halfway through the push-ups, my hips were dropping faster than my motivation on leg day. Today, I've come quite a long way in my calisthenics journey. I've gone from being able to do 2 pull-ups to 10, being able to just do a few normal push-ups to pike push-ups and working towards a handstand push-up. And I really feel like I've got the flow of things now. The key lessons that I've learned from learning calisthenics and from where I failed and got back up is that consistency and discipline, especially discipline, is overrated and I think overused as a term. When trying to build a habit or start working out, what's really important is having the right mindset and also building strong habits. With strong habits, you don't need discipline, as I mentioned before, because on the days where you don't feel like working out, the habits will just carry you. A great example of this is the setting out your clothes the night before, or before you go to work, so when you get back you see them. It just helps you kind of, stay in a flow state where you don't need to think about it too much, and it really helps remove friction, especially on days where it's feeling difficult. The key takeaway in relation to mindset that I learned from calisthenics was that you need to keep it fun. If something's not fun, you really won't want to do it, and it'll be so hard to find motivation and continue doing it. But if you find a way to make it fun, for me, that was listening to music and not putting any pressure on myself to get it right the first time, it really becomes something that you enjoy, and it becomes effortless to continue, build consistency, and learn. With what I'd learned from calisthenics, when I saw Ali Abdaal's 7 video YouTube challenge, I thought that picking up a camera and making 7 videos in 7 months would be easy. Although, I was terribly mistaken about that. I'd always wanted to post videos. When I was younger, originally it was on gaming, but more recently I'd started wanting to post videos on calisthenics. I wanted to share my journey and help others along the way. So as I just mentioned, when I saw Ali Abdaal's 7 video YouTube challenge, or 7 video challenge, I wanted to take part and thought it would be the perfect chance to get started. Do you remember the first time you started something new? That feeling of excitement and fear? I had all of those emotions when starting the 7 video challenge by Ali Abdaal, and I thought I was going to be able to just pick up the camera, get going, and make progress. But when I picked up the camera for the first time, which by the way took me weeks, I just felt an overwhelming sensation of fear, and more specifically a fear of being judged and a fear of messing it up or getting it wrong. Unlike calisthenics, YouTube videos are public. Everyone can see them, and if you mess up, there's a chance you'll be judged, silently or in the comments or verbally. Especially after what I learned from calisthenics, I didn't expect it to be so difficult to make YouTube videos. And in the first 2 months, I only posted 1 or 2 videos, and the whole time I was worried about being judged or what would happen if I messed up in a video. Because of this, I felt like the videos had to be perfect. I'd overthink every little thing and keep putting it off. I'd tell myself I'd record next weekend, and the next weekend would come and I'd say, oh, I can do it tomorrow. And then I'd forget for a week, and so on and so forth. Before I knew it, 2 months had passed, and I don't think I'd posted a video in that entire time. It was around that time that I really realized and came to terms with the fact that I was very underprepared to take on this challenge, and it was really demotivating at the time. But after accepting that, something changed. I guess I just recognized where I was and accepted that, and then from there I started working on how I'd continue. I still had 3 or 4 months left in the challenge, and I needed to get my last few videos out. After that, I managed to record my next 2 videos fairly close together, which was really good. And in the moments where I was able to let go of the fear of being judged and just enjoy the process, I did really enjoy making YouTube videos. But unfortunately, a vast majority of the time, I was still getting stuck overthinking and worrying about what was happening. You may have noticed all of my prior videos, especially up until video 5, were all kind of in my house somewhere that was quiet and out of the way of everyone, and I didn't have any B-roll clips because I didn't feel confident enough going outside to record any. It's just been in the last few weeks and around video 5 where things really started to pick up for me. I was deep in contemplation and remembered some of the key lessons that I got from calisthenics. I needed to make it fun, and also a new lesson was that I needed to let go of judgment. More specifically, I needed to accept that some people might judge me, and that's okay, because people already judge people all the time, if you notice it or not. And especially just random people that I've never met before. If they saw me recording a video or something like that, even if they thought it was weird, they'd forget by the evening and I'd never see them again anyway. This really helped me move on from my fear of judgment, and I started to enjoy it again. I went out for video 5 and recorded a bunch of B-roll, which I've been using in this video too, which I had a great time filming, and I started to enjoy the process a lot more. As well as that, to help make it fun, I just started recording videos that I wanted to record. I didn't really think about what would do well or anything else. And I should have realized this sooner, because that was actually something that they taught in the challenge, was that in the beginning you just want to make videos, like as many as you can, and just focus on what you enjoy. But I lost sight of that, but regaining that really helped. And videos 5 and 6, and in this video as well, have just been videos that I felt like recording and that came easily to me. And that's been really enjoyable. Now that I'm on my final video for the challenge, I can really appreciate the journey and see how much it's helped me. I've learned so much about myself, storytelling, and I've just developed a clarity about what it takes to make videos and a newfound respect for those who do it every day or every week. In the end, the 7 video challenge has taught me the same things almost that calisthenics taught me, just in different ways. I think that it's really important that whatever you decide to pursue, that you make it fun, and that you also make habits to help you get in the flow. For YouTube, it was less habits and more just a structured plan. I really put together a timeline and got invested in the creation of a plan, so that when I went to execute, I really just knew what I was doing. The final really important thing that I learned from YouTube, which I've mentioned before, is that you just need to let go of your fear of being judged. Really, life is too short to worry about that sort of stuff, and especially if it's something that you enjoy, you just need to remember that the enjoyment that you'll get from it is much greater than whatever judgment you may receive. And in the end, in 99% of cases, like, I haven't been judged by anyone for doing this, and I've been sitting here recording for like 30 minutes and there's been heaps of people walking past, which was scary at first, but now it's just kind of whatever. And I think the best way to face your fear of being judged is really just to get out there and start doing it, which might sound, I guess, in contradiction to what you might think it should be, but it's really just the easiest way to face your fear, because if you're worried about being judged and you sit inside or deliberately avoid environments where you could be judged, that fear will just kind of grow like the mess in the corner of your room that you never touch. And over time it'll get worse and become harder to face. So if you're struggling with fear of being judged for anything, calisthenics, recording videos, or anything else, I'd just recommend starting in environments where there's low risk, but there's still potential to be judged. For me, I just went to quiet places and filmed B-roll for some of my videos. Only 1 or 2 people walked by, and it was just me walking around with a tripod, so it didn't feel that bad. And over time, slowly just increase the, I guess, not risk, but increase the level of exposure that you have. So this video was the next step for me, recording outside in a public place where people would be walking past and seeing me with my microphone and tripod and my paper. Yeah, it's been really good, and I feel like I've learned a lot from it. The final thing is in relation to the kind of 2-month dead zone during the YouTube challenge. I think the best way I could have avoided that was just to not reflect, but also just kind of take a look at where you are more regularly. I think that helps because it means you catch yourself. If you kind of, I guess, reflect semi-regularly, it's like having like a friend or a mentor kind of checking on you every now and again to check on your progress. And I guess that sort of, not self-regulation, but just self-awareness really helps you to stop or avoid falling into any lulls or little breaks. If there are any other aspiring creators watching this video, I'll link his challenge in the description so you can check it out. It's been really good and I've really enjoyed it. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope it really helps you get started with anything that you've wanted to start recently, be it YouTube, calisthenics, or anything else. I've learned a lot from my calisthenics and YouTube journey so far, and I'm excited for what's to come. If you want to follow along on my journey, feel free to subscribe, although I might not be posting to YouTube as much now. I'll link other social medias that I have in the description though, in case you want to follow along. But for now, that's all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.